Hello everyone. Today's topic is about ways on elucidating concepts. Today's objectives: at the end of the lessons, you are expected to define a concept paper. Number 2, enumerate ways in elucidating concepts. And number 3, apply the ways in elucidating a concept. Let's first define what is a concept paper. A concept paper is an academic writing that clarifies the meaning of a concept or a term. When you write a concept paper, you wanted to clarify something that is blurry unto you, and you wanted to make it clear not only to you but as well as to your readers. Central to developing concept papers is writing definitions. Definitely the central ideas that you wanted to write on your concept paper, you really have to provide your audience or your readers definitions of the ideas you wanted to clarify with. Next, definitions are used to provide the meaning of a particular word or term. Of course, when you define, you wanted to give the meaning so that the reader will eventually know exactly what you wanted to convey. Next, they may be formal, informal, or extended. These are the types of definitions which I will be illustrating to you. So number 1 is formal sentence definitions. Include the term, class, and distinguishing features. The term is a word to be defined. The class or genus is the group where the term belongs, and distinguishing features or differentia are the qualities that make the term unique. So this is an example. Number 1 is a computer. If this is the word you wanted to clarify, what is a computer? So its class or genus is it is an electronic device. Next, distinguishing feature or differentia, it is meant for storing and processing data. So this is for formal definition. Next, informal definitions do not include distinguishing features. Example, a pencil. This is the term you wanted to define. So what is its class? Where does it belong? So it is an instrument for writing or drawing. You might be asking what's the difference between formal and informal definitions. Where formal definition has distinguishing features while informal definitions do not have distinguishing features. Next, the third one is extended definitions. Essay-length texts that use different rhetorical patterns to show the meaning of a particular term or concept. Extended definition essays or concept papers do not just define, but describe, compare, and contrast, show cause and effect relationships to provide the reader a holistic definition of a term. When you write your concept paper, you do not just concentrate on defining the term, but you have to describe it. You have to compare and contrast it with other terms. You have to show the cause and effect and its relationship to other terms. This way, you are able to provide your reader a holistic definition of the term. Holistic means you are able to shed light on the concept you wanted to tell your readers. Next, in order to clearly define a concept, remember the following tips. So I am going to discuss with you the tips on how you are able to craft a concept. Number 1, informal definitions. Avoid using the same term to be defined. Example, A cell phone is a phone. So the word phone is uh, repeated in this example. So you cannot repeat the same words when you are defining terms under formal definitions. It will sound redundant. Next, number two, in writing definitions, observe the concept of mutual exclusivity, meaning make sure that the features of the term do not overlap with other similar concepts of the same class. This is the example. A skateboard is a mode of transport that has four wheels. So definitely, if you have the idea about what a skateboard looks like, you do not agree that it is a form of transportation, which has although it has a four wheels, but it is not a form of transportation. This is the correct one. A skateboard is a short, narrow board with two small wheels fixed to the bottom of either end. This is the formal definition of a skateboard, wherein the meaning does not overlap with other terms. Next, a definition is essential because it is used in developing concept. It is the core of the concept paper. So remember, when you write your concept paper, you really have to define the words. And remember that it is the core of the concept paper, or it is the heart of your concept paper. What is the purpose or the purposes of writing a concept paper? So these are the following. Number one, to clarify meanings of words or to correct misinterpretations or misuse of a term. So if you are confused on certain concepts and you wanted to write a concept paper about this, so therefore you are able to clarify the meaning and eradicate misinterpretations or misuse of such words. Next, number two, to stipulate the meaning of a term by limiting, extending, or redirecting the sense in which a term is usually understood. To use a term borrowed from another field of knowledge in a spectacular way. Next, this is the example. Window dressing, used to make a shop window more attractive to buyers. So, therefore, it meant about window shopping. How to make window shopping more attractive to buyers. Next, these are the ways in elucidating concept. Number one, these are the formula, in other words. For formal definition, you have to follow this formula. It has a special pattern or equation. So number one, you have to know or write the term first, and then its genus or class, and differentia or its differentiating characteristics. Example, a robot is a machine that looks like a human being and performs complex acts of a human being. This definition is from Merriam-Webster. So what is the term being defined in here? The term is a robot. Where class or genus does it belong? It belongs to a machine. And then what is its distinguishing feature? It looks like a human being and performs complex acts of a human being. Next, by synonyms. Using a word or phrase that shares a meaning with the term being defined. So, example, hashish, marijuana. So these are the steps or tips you can make use of when you are defining terms. You can make use of synonyms. Take for example, hashish is also the meaning of it is also marijuana. Another example, pretty. What are the synonyms for the words pretty? We have beautiful, gorgeous. So by using synonyms when you are defining some terms or using some terms, at least you can display your well efficiency on your English vocabulary, and you avoid redundancy in your writing. Next, by origin or semantic history. Example: yoga comes from the Sanskrit to join. So you defined it by using the origin of the word and the meaning of it. Next, by illustration. Example: known for their shedding their leaves in the fall, deciduous trees include oaks, maples, and beeches. So in here, you try to illustrate, you try to form an image onto the mind of your readers. By functions. Example: a thermometer measures temperature change. So you can make use of these types of definitions. Like, what's the functions of a thermometer? Definitely it is to measure our temperature. Next, by analysis, breaking down wholes into parts, aspects into levels, and process into steps. For example, the Republican form of government has three branches: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. So what have you defined in here? The form of Republican government. So you are able to distinguish its branches. Number 7, by likeness or similarity. Example: brighter than 100 million suns, quasars 7 stand like beacons on the shore of the universe. So what are the two things being compared in here? So we have the suns and quasars 7. Next, by analogy or metaphor. Example: the germs and bacteria of antigens are like a gang of villains invading our body, attacking our unseen defenders. The layers of macrophages, cytokines, and lymphocytes. So what is the metaphor in here? The germs is being compared to that of a gang of villains. Right? That is how these are the ways on how you are able to define terms when you are crafting your concept papers. Number 9, by contrast, by use of opposites. Example: unlike those of gas, the particles of plasma are electrically charged. Right? You can make use of antonyms. What is the opposite of beautiful? What is the opposite of ugly? What are the opposite of cold? So you can make use of them. You can actually play with your words when you are crafting your concept paper to avoid redundancy. Next, by negation, stating what a term is not. Example: wild rice, an American delicacy, is not rice at all, but the seed of a tall aquatic grass. That means you try to negate, or you put some negative uh, reactions about the words being defined. What is the words being defined here? The word wild rice. So it contradicts its meaning by saying that it's not rice at all. So this is also another ways for you to play with your words. You can define them using negation. All right, so let's do your activities. For activity number 1, you have to do this matching type. You have to match the term in column A with its meaning in column B. write your answer on your notebook. So this is column A and column B. I'll give you some time to read, class. All right, next. So this is 4 and 5. So these are the choices. I'll give you some time to read and answer them on your notebook. All right, so let's do activity number 2. So biformal, when we say formal definitions, therefore you have to find the meaning of each term using the Merriam-Webster dictionary, or you can Google them. You can search the meaning of it using the internet. So write a formal definition of the following terms on a sheet of paper. Please use your notebook. We will be checking them on our next meeting when face-to-face classes starts again. All right. Next, you have for number 3, you have to elucidate the term by function. Write your answer on a sheet of paper or on your notebook again. That means you can search what are the functions of Department of Education. What is their main purpose? What do they do for the humanities, especially for you students as well as for the teachers? What is the functions of the SWD, DOH, and TESDA, and as well as the Department of Labor and Employment? Class, I'm giving you leeway to use the internet or use the Google to find the functions of these departments. Write your answers on your notebook. We will check them when we meet again. For your assessment, write your answers on your notebook. All right, this is the direction. Write the definition of the word COVID-19 using the 10 techniques of elucidating concept. Write your answer on your notebook. By formal definition, how can you define COVID-19? What is the definition of COVID-19 according to Google or according to different types of dictionary? By synonyms, what is the synonyms for COVID-19? By origin, what is the origin words of COVID-19? By illustration, that means how can you explain COVID-19? What do you understand about COVID-19? By analysis, what is your analysis about COVID-19? What is its likeness and similarities with other diseases? By analogy and metaphor, by contrast, you can find the differences of this with other sickness. Next, by negation. How can you put negation or negative aspects about this COVID-19? Next, for your assignment, I wanted you to write this on your notebook as well. So this is a reflection. What were your thoughts or ideas about elucidating concept? What new or additional ideas did you learn after taking up this lesson? How did you apply the things you have learned about elucidating concept? All right, class, this reflections, I wanted you to write it on a long pen paper. Please draw them and I will be collecting them on our next meeting. They are included in your portfolio. So that's all for today, class. I just hope you had learned something new today. Good day, class. Bye.